Settle for a regular type dude.
How tall are you?
I am 5'3".
Dress size?
I am a medium.
Dress size? Number?
Um, a 10.
How much did you weigh the last time you weighed yourself?
What's up, YouTube? Today we are covering Kevin Samuel's debate with a woman who has hit the wall. So let's get into it, shall we?
157.
Fresh face out of the shower, just your natural face. On a scale from 1 to 10, what would you
This
rank
is
your
my
looks?
natural face.
What? Okay, fresh face out of the shower, your natural face. You can't use 7. What would you rank yourself? 1 to 10.
A 6.
Okay. A 6 is right above average. A 5 is average, right? You're 5'3", 100, a dress size 10, so that's above average weight. 5'3", you should be roughly dress size 4. 4'6", 125 pounds. Even if I believe you're 157, 160, you're almost 33 pounds, 33% over your ideal target weight.
I
And
don't
you
look
have
the weight
listen,
though.
listen, listen. If you're if you're average to cute looking,
Mhm.
if you're below average health from a weight standpoint, and you have 2 children, overall, does that make you below average, average, or above average? Factor all those things in together.
Average.
So why should you get anything upper? Then why should you get above average? What do you mean settle for? You should
Baby,
get what you are.
I see millionaires with average women all.
Now, personally, everybody, I think Kevin Samuels is being a little generous with this woman. I really do. Because, hey, I consider myself to be very blunt too. But one thing I'm noticing is that Kevin Samuels is not adding in that, hey, if you have one kid, that marks out a percentage of your value on the dating market. Now, that's not sexist. That's the fact that that child of yours, well, if it was just one child, we'll get into having 2 kids later on. That child of yours, as a single mom, will be an additional expense for the man, who has no legal obligations to you at all whatsoever. Literally none. Now, have there been other men in the past who were willing to marry single moms? Yeah, I will admit to that. But here's the thing, that was during a time when before no fault divorces were a thing. The woman would provide a legally binding court document revealing she did everything she could in her power to make that marriage with that man work. And that the reason why the marriage fell apart wasn't her fault. Because of that, women were held to a much higher level of expectations. And as a result of being held to a much higher level of expectations, those women were willing to understand and accept the reality of their situation, which is in order to convince another man to marry you, you would have to offer something into that man's life that will get them to completely overlook the additional expense of a kid that is not his. That was the reality how the game was played, or still is played. Because after all, ladies, this is not sexist, by the way. This is just the reality that a man is not going to want to invest in you if there's nothing to invest in. That's not sexist. That's reality.
They don't have big chest tattoos either, and 2 other kids.
So
Man,
I can't
I'm
get,
just
I
saying.
can't get
Okay,
this.
I want to. No, no. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Why should an average woman say she's settling for an average man? Make
Ain't
that
nothing
make
wrong with it. Wait.
No, no,
Ain't
you
nothing.
said so I should just
Ain't
settle.
nothing
No, you said that.
wrong.
Listen. You said so I should just settle for an average guy, and I'm like, you're an average woman. Why should
I
you
mean,
not get?
I would be settling. I mean, nothing
Why
wrong with
would
an average.
okay? Why would you be settling, and he wouldn't? So what would he be doing? Would he be upgrading?
He don't got no money. So if he don't have no money,
You ain't fine enough for no money.
I'm not finding enough for money.
No, you're
Average
6.
women
You're
date
5. You're 5. You said
billionaires.
you're 6, ma'am. You said you're 6. You don't get money. You get second shift at the plant. Did you go to college?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
But
ma'am. So
I have my own business though.
congratulations. Don't care, ma'am. You got 2 children, and you said you are 6. I give you 5, 6. Your numbers together would be average. So why? So an average man would be upgrading to get you.
Look, I didn't say all that.
I'm asking, ma'am, because ma'am, we're just having a conversation. You said you'd be settling, so by extension, he would
Okay,
be.
so I guess we'll be settling for each other.
Well,
Is that
but he,
better?
no. But my issue is, you said settling for him. That means you'd be getting something less than what you deserve. When we settle, we get
Because
less.
I already have everything that I need. If he's not adding to me, then that will be settling, right?
Fabian, I want you to understand what I asked you last night. I asked this question oftentimes with black women. If you have to work as hard today or harder if you want children with a husband, would you rather have a husband or be single? And almost 100% of the time, black women would say, if I have to work as hard as I am today with a husband, I'd rather be single, because a husband is not, just by being a man ain't enough. He's supposed to make her life easier. That is why I have no problem telling women to die alone. It is not our job to make women's lives easier. It's our job to protect, provide, but that's not necessarily easy. It's harder. Relationships are hard. So, ma'am, you got all the things you need except somebody to share life with. And the man who can meet your standards, okay? Can he meet other women's standards? Okay, then why should he not get the best? If he can meet your highest standard, he can meet another woman's standard. And all I'm saying is that why should a man have to settle for a woman with 2 kids because you got a business?
They don't have, Kevin, they don't have to settle for me.
Now, about the 2 kids thing. Yeah. Here's the thing. She has 2 kids. Like she does. Now, I fully understand that mistakes are the key to learning. You learn from your mistakes. However, the key to be able to learn from your mistake is to avoid making the same mistake twice. That is just being lazy. And it makes matters even worse. It means you didn't learn anything the first time. So, unless if those 2 kids are twins, then it doesn't matter which way I look at it. It doesn't matter. This is the type of woman who just does not learn or is not willing to learn from past mistakes. She is the type of woman who just blames men for all of her problems, which is probably the exact reason why she can't find a man. It really is.
You said you'd be settling for him.
Okay, just like you, Kevin, you say that
Mhm.
high value men are supposed to have money, right? That's what you say. So if they don't have money, that means their value is low, right? And
No.
you go off women
No,
by
no, no,
like
no. If
look.
you want to know, no. High value men, that's a completely different component. That's less than 10% of men.
Mhm.
And high value men get high value women, women who are in high demand.
Right.
That's not your category.
Because I got kids, right?
You're not, ma'am. No, yes, are you? Would you say that you're a woman that's in high demand or most wanted?
I could be. I mean, yeah, I could be. I mean,
You could
if
be.
I
So
take
okay.
care,
So
I
so
take care.
so
Can I tell you?
listen,
Can
listen,
I tell
listen,
you
listen,
about?
listen. Don't
Can
hold
I
on.
tell you about myself?
Hold on. Ma'am, you're 37 with two children.
Hmm.
Where in the world do women who are average to above average look, average to cute, who are a little overweight with two kids, where are these women in high demand?
Kevin, I'm working on myself. So if I
No,
was
ma'am.
to
I asked a
lose,
very specific question. It's not no because you're working on yourself. That's fine, but that doesn't mean you're in high demand.
I can get there. Can I?
And
So
see,
you mean to tell me if I can lose 20 pounds and
80
I take
years
care,
ago, 80 years ago, with a woman in your position, even without the children, 80 years ago, would a woman in your position be with the top 10% man?
you said 80
80
years ago,
years ago. 80
would she?
years ago. Would she be with a man in the top 10% of all men?
You can't get there, madam. I hate to praise to you, but you can't. The reason why is because you're post wall. You're about to enter your 40s. So chances are it's kind of too late for you to get married. Now, in case you guys forgot what we're here when we talked about the wall is when a woman has officially lost her beauty and fertility to age, and men stop looking at her. Like people stop looking in her direction. They have. Personally, I think every woman should educate themselves on what the wall is and be willing to accept it because this will allow women to organize their life accordingly and not end up like this. That's just my thoughts on the matter.
Yeah.
No.
Why?
There are a limited amount of these men to go around. Ma'am. So this is what I want you guys to understand, especially in the black community. You're an average woman by any stretch of the imagination. And I think that's being fair. Average at best is more likely the term. Average at best would be pretty fair. Why
Okay, and
would,
these
but why
and
would, but listen,
I'm
the issue,
listening.
but the issue is, so I got to settle for an average man. That's not settling. That's getting what you can afford to buy on the sexual marketplace.
Okay, so if I wanted a high value man, what do I do?
Be reincarnated.
Yep, you have to be reincarnated to get a high value man if you're this late in the game. Ladies, that's just the fact of the matter. That's not sexist either. That's just reality. It really is. But let's face it. Actually, this helps this question. When was the last time any of you guys saw a man who was romantically or sexually attracted to a woman's financial position? Like when? Also, I'm pretty sure that this is the reason, or the cut and dry reason, why professional matchmakers, here in the West at least, have been basically quitting in droves. Because let's face it, everybody, you can pay a professional matchmaker millions upon millions of dollars. It doesn't matter if you're not going to listen to that matchmaker. It really doesn't matter. Anyways, that's all we got time for today. I'm going to make some dinner now. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll